I'm Elijah Stacy. I'm 22 years old. I'm an author. I'm a public speaker, the founder of the nonprofit Destroy Duchenne, and I'm also a consultant at Capricorn Therapeutics. So I was born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy when I was, or diagnosed when I was 6 years old, but born with the disease. And we really started to notice the effects around five. I was trying to ride a bicycle and I couldn't. I couldn't keep up with my friends. I would fall to the floor frequently. I was walking on my tippy toes. All these things, and my mom eventually wanted me to get out of a booster seat, and so she went to measure my height against the wall, but I couldn't put my heels down flat on the floor, and so that's when we started going for testing to see doctors, doing blood work, and eventually a muscle biopsy, and confirmed that I do have Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And then moving on, and when I was 11 years old, I got so weak that I had to use a power wheelchair full time, and so that's a dramatic life change and a lot for a little kid to go through. I mean, you have all your peers looking at you in the fourth grade, and you stick out like a sore thumb being in a wheelchair. And so a lot to deal with. But later on in my teenage years, going to high school, trying to answer questions became a lot harder. You start to lose the mobility in your upper limb function. And so that could be very hard to go through as well, because now you're getting impacted in your studies. And so a lot of things that happen with this disease, but the worst part of the disease is it is fatal. Patients typically pass away when they're 25. That's the average lifespan. And so very serious disease that we need to do something about. And on the human side of, how can Duchenne impact you, right, as a human being? And I think that, you can let it really bring you down, or you could choose to be positive. But I mean, it is hard, regardless if you want to take a positive outlook or not. A lot of your peers will go and play sports, right? And you won't be able to do that. Things will just be harder to do that the everyday person may take for granted, like eating food by yourself, or reaching for a book that's high up, and you can't do that. You need to ask for help, right? These things that make life a little bit harder for patients with Duchenne. And so I think that something that's really great that the CEO at Capricorn says is that as patients get older, they lose milestones, where you look at, a healthy person and they get milestones. They learn how to drive at 16, or they go to their career, they're, advancing, they're accomplishing these life milestones, where patients are losing them. And so that's an unfortunate part about this disease.